Hey everyone, so right now I am just working on a few things, some older pieces and one commission piece that needs to get finished for a friend. This piece I've shown to people already, which is for sale. It's very pretty. It's got lots of blues and greens, and this is one of the geodes I do, and what I'm going to do today with it is just give it a little more embellishing on the sides with some fiberglass, and maybe in the middle here along this edge. I'm not a big fan of this middle or this inner edge showing, so I think maybe I'm going to add some fiberglass to that, maybe some crystals to it. And I have this really big black one that I think I'm going to sell as well. And this one has a few little places I noticed that I needed to add some more fiberglass to as well. This one could also use maybe one more coat of resin along the edges here of where the fiberglass is. The inside here is beautiful and fantastic, and I'm not going to touch that. Even in the middle here, that looks really good. If I see any little bare spots, I might go ahead and touch those up. But yeah, as you can see, like, there's little pieces that are falling out, so that tells me that I probably need, you know, a little more resin drizzled on that, just to keep all the little pieces in place. And then the commission I'm working on, this is for a friend. She requested a geode for her house, kind of a smaller one, but she wanted the inside to be more watery looking, ocean looking versus geode. But she wanted the more geode shape with the glass. So this is kind of where it's at right now in the stage. The next thing I'm going to do on this one is I'm going to add crystals and fiberglass along this outer edge, because that's what she likes, or what she wants on it. And I might add a little more in here on this one. She doesn't want anything protruding out like this. She doesn't want like crystals, you know, popping out of it. She wants it more of a smooth surface. So, and that one will probably take another flood coat of resin on it as well once I get it cleaned up and ready for that, which is where you pour resin throughout all of here, and that helps seal everything in. It helps it give it a nice shine. Yeah, so these are the three pieces I'm going to be working on, and I'm going to go ahead and get some of this started, and I'll let you guys watch that if you want. Okay, so I'm getting out my fiberglass, and this is what I use for fiberglass. It's by Celestial. It's actually pretty good. I've been trying to find something that's smaller than 1/4 of an inch, but in this, you know, this brand, but I'm not sure if they have it or not. And then I've got a big old thing that I put a lot of it in as well. But yeah, so I'm going to start, I think, with well, I'm not sure. I think I really should start with this commission because I need to get it done. And I found some little crystals that are like blue-green. They're very pretty. I'm going to put those, I think, on this blue-green glittery one. So here's for my clear diamond starlight. That's what they call this color. And that's what I'm going to use. And normally I have gloves on, and for some reason I don't. So This is really probably not going to be very fun for you to watch, so I'll probably speed through it when so that you guys don't have to watch it. But ultimately, you just, you know, put your glue down and kind of choose the pieces that you want and go along the edges. You can, I try to do a little bit of resin over these guys too, you know, just to help hold them in place. And I feel like I need to get a glue gun that's less stringy, or maybe glue that's less stringy. I don't know if it's the gun or the glue. It's probably the glue. Another reason I wear the gloves is because the glue is really hot, and I burn myself a lot because I'm not careful. When you do the resin though, it's very important that you wear PPE, your personal protective equipment, because even though, you know, they say some of it's not toxic, personally that's just not something I want to take a chance with, because I'm already dealing with some kind of something. We pulled up some old carpet in the house, and ever since we did that, I've got like this tickle down here, and I don't know what it's from. I don't know if it's just gunk from that was been there forever, or if I have an allergy or something, or I've been taking some Zyrtec. It's not like a cough, but it makes me feel like I want to cough. It's like just kind of in there, so you hear me clearing my throat a lot, which is not normal for me. So, and it started like the beginning of last week when he tore up that carpet. I don't know. If it stays for a long time, I'll probably go to the doctor and be like, what's going on with me? But yeah, I love covering the edges because I feel like, well, I feel like they're just ugly. Like I don't. And the board that I use here, this is MDF board that my lovely hubby cuts out for me. He cuts out my shapes. I draw with chalk the shapes I want on the board, and then he takes his tools and tools that he bought for me to do it, and he does it for me, because I'll probably end up chopping a finger off or drilling a hole into my hand or something. That's the truth. I probably will end up doing that. I need like those kind of gloves that are probably like chain link or something, where if you do miss and you jab yourself, it doesn't kill you and take off a limb. And this fiberglass is very sharp. It truly is. I have gotten several cuts from messing with it, or just from picking up, you know, these geodes. So, you know, if you ever do buy a geode or whatever, you know, even if it's not from me and it has fiberglass on it or any kind of crystals, just be really careful moving it around the house, or, you know, I really like putting them on plate holders, which is kind of what they're on back here. Something like this, you know, I think it makes a really great display. You can always put, you know, like a little click light underneath it if you want to, you know, show off the colors that it has, because one thing resin does do is it really shows off wonderful colors, you know, and it blends things, and it's just a really terrible but great product. It, you know, it's very chemically, you know, when you're working with it, once it's cured, it's fine. But when you're working with it, it's just not, you know, it's just, you got to make sure you're wearing your respirator and all that jazz. You know, when I have friends over to work on this stuff, I I have an extra respirator for them because I have one friend had her over and we actually forgot to put our respirators on, and we weren't working with it a whole bunch. We were just doing some quick pours and then we were going to be leaving the studio. But she somehow managed to get resin on her face, on her lips, and therefore because it was on her lips, she somehow managed to get it in her mouth. I guess she had like a sore throat for a couple days. She's good now, but you know, you will have those friends that tend to kick their own butts and yeah, eat your resin. But it is important. It truly is important. There are, you know, you can find YouTube videos out there of people who just, you know, have gotten serious lung damage from resin. And I don't know if it's the type of resin you're using or if your susceptibility is higher than others of being damaged, you know, because, you know, you see people who smoke for like their whole life since they were like 12 years old and they're fine. And then others, you know, they only have to smoke for 5 years and, you know, they've got damaged lungs, COPD, and all kinds of stuff. So I don't know if the resin is similar to that, where some people it really affects and others not. I do think there are some people who are more prone to allergies to resin. You know, they just touch it and get, you know, rashes, and or eyes are swelling, or the fumes bother them. Fumes bother me a little bit, but you know, again, I think I need more glue. I think it really depends on you, so you should just always be careful. And you know, just get that PPE if you ever decide you want to start up a resin hobby. I've gone back and forth on whether or not I want to keep doing resin. I love the outcome. You know, it's fun, it's shiny, it makes beautiful products, beautiful things for your house, you know, different types of things that, you know, you don't see anywhere else. You get one-of-a-kind things, but at the same time, it's so chemically, and I don't know, I go back and forth. And there's a lot of artists out there that are trying other mediums like Jesmonite, which is, it's almost like, Jesmonite is like a, it's almost like a plaster of Paris mixed with resin. So it's, they say it's not toxic, and I've dabbled in it some, and I will do some things on here with it. But you know, it's fun, don't get me wrong, and it makes really cool things, but it's not the same. It is, you know, there's just things you can't do. It's not clear, for one, so, and you know, adding colors changes things, and there's only certain types of colors you can add, and certain, you know, it's just, there's just things. So, but what I do think, there is this product that I do want to try that seems to be a decent product, and it's called Cement All, and people are using it to make their candle holders. Now I do want to try, though, you know, so there's people that go back and forth about it. There's people who absolutely love it because they said it gives a more earthy, natural, all natural feel to the product you're creating, especially those people who like to do the all natural thing. But also, there's a time thing with it, you know, like it takes a while to cure, and you have to prep, you know, the concrete cement, you know, after the fact to make sure it can, you know, honestly, I'm not even sure why, what all, how, you know, I'm not sure of any of all that, but I do know there's more prep time involved in it. I don't mind you know, buying. I think the candles that I'm going to make, I know in my first video I said when we were talking about the candles that the beeswax can't hold resin, you know, wording is very hard on these videos. The beeswax can't hold fragrance and coloring dyes very well. Now I'm not sure about the dyes, but I did see somewhere that, or I read somewhere that actually the beeswax take to fragrance fine, you know, essential oils. I don't know the truth in that or not, but the line I want to do is aromatherapy. So I'm really going to focus on the aromatherapy candles because I really think that smells can play a big role in how you feel, you know, your moods. And at least for me, like, you know, I love vanilla, and I know that's not, you know, an essential oil, but for me, vanilla is one of those smells, you know, and it's not like the really strong vanilla, but you know, just the vanilla smell, it's a calming smell for me. You know, I like eucalyptus, you know, especially, you know, when you're taking a bath or whatever. You know, I like lemon. You know, I don't know what you guys like. You know, you can leave in the comments, you know, the types of smells you would want to buy. You know, that would be very helpful to me. You know, even if it's not an essential oil smell, like if you just like, you know, like I want to do fall stuff too. I want my line to primarily be essential oils, but I do want to do some things that keep up with the seasons. You know, like some fall smells and, you know, Christmas smells, you know. But I think when people buy Christmas presents, at least for me, I don't buy candles for people based on the seasonal smell. I buy candles for people based on what I think they're going to want to smell, because, you know, they may not use the candle right away. So what I think actually smells good, or, you know, doing an essential oil smell, like, you know, lemongrass or eucalyptus or not sandalwood, but, you know, jasmine, lavender, things like that that have some kind of health benefit. That's what I like. I like the natural health vibe. You know, the more I want to do my candles where they're more natural. You know, when you burn them, you're not putting fumes in your house that are toxic. I don't, you know, I don't want to do that. I want, it to be natural so that, you know, your dogs, your children, you know, when they smell it, it's not toxic to them. You know, it's not putting terrible fumes in your house. I mean, we breathe in enough terrible crap as it is. So that's kind of my goal with my line, and I really hope it takes off, and I really hope it does well. I'm still waiting for all the stuff to come in. I told you guys, this is like tedious work here, but in the end it looks really good. And the fire glass actually lasts a long time. Like, I know these are like big 10-pound containers of it, but it does. Like, I think these are probably my original containers that I bought since I've been doing this, and I might have bought one. I think I bought one other clear one, because I go through the clear. I use the clear a lot. But yeah, I think going natural is the way to go. So this is looking great. I hope my friend really likes it. I really think it looks cool. It's definitely got a different vibe to it, and it will look very pretty in her house. She's got she lives on a lake, and she's got the whites and the light blues and some dark blues, and see, I burned myself. And the greens, and well, she doesn't really have, looks like a light green maybe, but mostly whites and blues. Kind of has that Joanna Gaines vibe going on. It looks like a little bit in her house. The rustic barnwood, white barnwood type thing. It's very pretty. She has a very good sense of style. I, however, was not given that by my mother, though my mother does have it. Decorating a house, definitely not my forte, but I can do some art. For some reason though, I just can't. But as you can see, like, you know, this is very easy and simple, and I will eventually do a from scratch geode. I also was thinking, and maybe you guys could let me know in the boxes, you know, in the comment box as well, I was also thinking of putting together boxes like that contain like little containers of resin, you know, some colorants, some glass, some glitter, you know, and like a geode shape. That way, you know, if you guys wanted to do your own geode on your own time, I can do a tutorial and you can watch it whenever you feel you've got the time to do it, and then you can do it along with me, and you know, because really a geode is one of those things that it's not, you know, like most of the stuff I do, it's not difficult, and there's not a right or a wrong way to do it. It's just, do you like the results as they're coming out? And the nice thing about these is, you know, once your resin cures, like, and literally it's, you know, really 24 hours, once it cures, you come in and because you know, resin heats up. So when it's, what you see now may not be what you see in the morning, because your resin heats up and it moves on its own. So the thicker you pour your resin, sometimes you gotta let it sit, let it thicken up a little bit, and then pour. The odds are better and more in your favor that it will stay where you've put it. But if you wake up in the morning and you're like, I don't really like the way that looks, and trust me, I have done that so many times. I have poured and re-poured probably 3 or 4 times over some projects because, you know, I'm just like, ugh, I just don't like it. And that's okay, because it's not like there's a science to it. It's not like being, you know, realistic oil painting or realistic acrylic painting where you've got to have specific techniques, or you've got to have, you know, a real plan in your mind of what you're doing. You can just willy-nilly it, and you might end up with something that's just beautiful. I would just like to know if me putting together little, you know, maybe it's a little candle kit, or a resin kit for you to make, or a clock kit for you to make, or, you know, maybe a paint pour kit for you to make. If that's something that interests you, yeah, let me know in the comments, because maybe that's something I will try to put together for people. But so here's kind of the finished sides. I know you really can't tell very well here, but it was, you know, just the plain white painted side. The bottom, of course, doesn't look pretty. I don't concern myself too much with the bottom, and if I was you, I wouldn't either, because, you know, when you set it up on your thing, no one's gonna see it. You know, no one's gonna know that the bottom's got some drippies or whatever from when the resin was poured. There is ways that you can prevent that, and there's things you can do to prevent that. I guess it's just more of a matter of, this is why you put resin on, because the glue only holds so much. It's just a matter of whether you truly care. Oh, there was no glue even here. whether that's a big deal for you or not. To me, it's not a big deal. You know, some people are very, very particular. Most of the people who have bought from me, that is not an issue for them. So I would definitely, if it's an issue for you and you want it really clean, you can always put tape down and stuff. But so this is all I'm going to do for this video right now. I'm going to do the same thing for these other two pieces, you know, fix up little spaces, whatever. And then when I get ready to do the resin pour, I'll bring you guys back and I will show you that. Thank you so much. And please, if you like this video, I'm trying to go slow and show people like little bits here and there, but I'll eventually do like whole processes. I'm just trying to clean up a few of the other things I've got to do. But please like, subscribe, click the bell, because as I get ramping up, there's going to be a lot more things coming. Thank you all for watching. I appreciate you supporting my channel so much. Thanks.